welcome back to my channel. Now you're probably wondering why I'm all glammed up today, why I have my blazer, why I have my red lip. Well, today I'm going to talk about how to become a flight attendant. Now, quick disclaimer, I am not an official flight attendant yet, but I have gone through the interview process and I was successful in passing the interview. So I'm going to just give you some tips and just things that I did to prepare myself before the interview and just kind of give you an insight as to what my thoughts are going through this entire process. Okay, so I applied October 2019. I was not offered my CJO, which stands for a contingent job offer. I wasn't given that until January of 2020, January 28th of 2020. So the number one thing when applying to be a flight attendant is you have to be patient. Like I mentioned, I applied October. I did my video interview. The first step is, the video interview where you do it through HireVue. They give you a question on the screen. You have about 1 minute and 30 seconds to think about it and then answer it. And I think there's about like 6 questions. I completed that in October. The second step was the personality assessment quiz or exam, whatever you want to call it. I did that late October. I was successful in that as well. And then I got an invite to do the live interview in November. I selected my dates, and then I didn't have my live interview until December. Okay, so I gave them my availability the beginning of November. I didn't hear back from them like confirming the dates until the end of November. And then I didn't have my live interview until December. Okay? And then once I, successfully completed the live interview, I was then given dates to go to my face-to-face, and I didn't do that till the end of January. Okay, so as you can see, I waited a very, very long time to get to my face-to-face. But I did speak to other people during the interview that mentioned that they had applied in August of 2019. So they were waiting significantly more longer, but regardless, you have to wait. It's a waiting game. So that's like the number one thing. Be patient. If you don't hear anything back, that's good news, because that means that you're still in the running. They're still considering you. When you hear, a no, obviously that's bad news. But while you don't hear anything, you're fine. You're still doing okay. Because like I said, I didn't hear anything for months, and I didn't get, a rejection email. So I was hopeful, and, I was able to get my CJO. So let's see, my tips for the first step for the video interview where you have questions on the screen. So I'm not going to say what kind of questions are on the video interview because that is against the company policy. But let me tell you, go on to Glassdoor and do research. Go on to Facebook and join groups for that specific airline. Research other YouTubers that are currently flight attendants. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on how to become a flight attendant, day in the life of a flight attendant, the negatives of being a flight attendant, the pros of being a flight attendant. There's unlimited amount of videos that are available to you. So go on YouTube and definitely do your research. Okay, so for the video interview, you're gonna be looking the part as if someone was literally directly in front of you. So just because you're doing it from home does not mean you could be a little bit more relaxed. I'm talking about look the part. Second, smile. Smile through the whole thing. Even when you feel awkward. Even if you like, oh my God, I answered that question terrible, like that was really bad. It's okay. Smile the whole way through. You have a minute, 30 seconds to kind of like shake it off, and then you're back in game mode. While you're doing this video interview, your personality has to shine 10 times more than you are in person, because it's a video. So just like I'm doing right now, I have to express myself more than just a regular conversation, because you can't see me. This is all you get. So when you're answering these questions, bring out your passion, bring out your excitement for this job, whatever question they're asking you. Just make your personality shine and smile. Like, smile. Okay, let's talk about what to wear and maybe what not to wear. So, for girls specifically, a lot of people recommended to do the red lip because it's like the classic flight attendant touch. I personally love a red lip, so the fact that it's like a part of the job is really exciting because I love a red lip. But you don't necessarily have to wear a red lip. I can't say that it's like, oh, if you don't wear it, it's like you're eliminated, because obviously not. It has more to do with your interviewing skills and your personality. But if you feel comfortable in a red lip, wear it. Because like I said, I like it, so I'm definitely wearing it. If it's not your thing and you've never done it and you feel weird, don't do it. Whatever you feel most confident in, that's what you need to do. If it's a nude lip, go for a nude lip. If it's lip gloss, wear lip gloss. The next thing, attire-wise, is solid, dark colors. Now, I would not wear this color specifically to an interview. I just decided to wear it for this little video I'm making. Like, I would not wear this color. Stick to blue, navy blue, gray, black, or your traditional white. Someone posted like what the company expects you to wear during training, and one of the main things was solid dark colors. You can wear slacks or a skirt, but if you wear a skirt, you have to wear pantyhose underneath your skirt. Because flight attendants, when they wear their dresses and when they wear their skirts, they have pantyhose on, okay? You should take pumps, but when I mean pumps, I don't mean like super high. So I'm just gonna show you exactly what shoes I wore to my face-to-face interview. So I wore these. Did I scuff them? Oh yeah. Okay, so I wore these pumps. And let me tell you why I believe that this is like the perfect pump. So one of the guidelines when you're already in training is that your pump cannot be over 1.5 inches, I believe. Now, I'm not exactly sure how, like the exact height of this, but I felt like it was pretty small. Like it was like appropriate. Another requirement is I think they have satin leather, basically like the leather that's not shiny. So I know I sound a little ignorant, but make sure you buy leather that's opaque like this, okay? So these are the shoes that I wore for my interview. These were $50 at JCPenney, and they actually are extremely comfortable. I was in them all day, and they didn't start hurting until like the very end. But by that point, I had been wearing them for over like 10 hours. So of course your feet are gonna hurt. Very comfortable, and just, it's a good shoe. I liked it. For 50 bucks, I didn't think it was bad. Make sure that they're in the colors of black, gray, and I believe brown. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. The suits need to be black, gray, or navy. Those are the only 3 options. Well, actually not the only 3 options, but the highly recommended options for what you should wear during your interview. And I'm going to insert a clip of what I wore to my face-to-face interview. I did get a little clip at the airport to just give you an idea of what I wore. Now in the video, I didn't have my blazer on, but you see basically everything I have on but the blazer. But I had a matching blazer with the skirt. Personality assessment test. Now, I've seen some people say that they can't ever get past this part. I've taken personality exams for other companies that I, got hired for. And thank God, I've always managed to successfully pass those. But, okay, how do I explain this? You need to put yourself 100% in the role that you are taking this personality exam for. For this one, a flight attendant. So the other one I took was for sales. So I had to be, my mindset was, I'm a salesperson, like right now. I am a salesperson. And during that personality test, I was a flight attendant. So sitting there, every question, don't rush. Number 1, do not rush. Take your time. Reread the question over and over until it makes sense in your head, what they're asking you. Because there's always an underlying, like, it'll say, question A or question 1, but then every question, like, remember, every question they're asking for a specific purpose. Your job is to figure out what the purpose is. Are they asking me to see how I would handle a situation? Are they asking me this to see how I personally react to this situation? Okay, so while they want to know who you are, you are being you, of course, you always want to be you, but you are a flight attendant. In your head, you're a flight attendant. So you're not thinking, oh, what would I do just as a normal person? No, that's the right thing. People go wrong. You are taking this as if you are already a flight attendant. So put yourself, okay, I'm a flight attendant. Okay, now they're asking me this question based on the situation. What would I do as a flight attendant? Don't forget that part. What would you do as a flight attendant? Okay, I think that's like the most important point, okay? They're asking you for a specific purpose. They're also gonna reword a question and ask you again because they wanna know, are you consistent with what you're telling us, okay? Be careful, read every question. Do not assume that you read it, okay, yeah, for sure, like this is how I feel. No, reread it, think about it, reread it again, then answer. If you're hesitating, sit there and, you have time. No one's pressuring you. You have time to answer these questions. Do not rush it. That's my biggest tip or advice that I have for you for the personality assessment. Live interview part. I personally thought I did really bad during my live interview because I felt really sick that day, like really sick. And I just felt spaced out. Usually I could come up with quick answers on the spot. Even if it's never happened to me or whatever the case may be, like I'll think about it on the spot and be able to answer it. But in this situation, I legitimately could not think of a quick response. I even told him, because it was a him, that I never encountered a situation like that. And then he asked me, well, I need you to have an example. Like he was like, I need an example. Like you can't just say, if that were, if this were to happen to me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He wanted like a legitimate answer. So I thought that, I was like, crap. I was like, I messed up. Like, I just thought that was the end all be all. But I do remember specifically, I think the 2 things that I did do, I think that saved me was, I was smiling the whole time. I was smiling the whole time. Even when I felt awkward, I was smiling. I was like, I was just like making sure that my smile never disappeared. And I think another thing that saved me on my live interview was I was a lifeguard for 6 years. I taught people how to swim through the Red Cross program for 10 years. And then I also had my own company for about 4 years teaching little kids how to swim. So I'm really big into safety. I've also been a hostess. I've also been a server. So I've done like the whole spectrum. I remember, I can't remember exactly at what part I said this in an interview, but I did mention my lifeguard experience. I did mention my serving experience because he asked for an example, and that's just like the first thing that came in my mind. I was like, okay. So I believe because he heard these experiences and he was like, okay, well, like that has a direct correlation with his job. And then he sang, and then I thanked him at the end of the interview, like, I appreciate your time. I always do that because I think it's just good to thank them for their time. So I think those two things saved me. But if I were to do things a little differently, I would definitely prepare more, because I don't think I had all of the examples necessarily. A lot of the questions he asked me, I was like, wow, that's new. I didn't know that you were gonna ask me that. But I would just do a little bit more preparing, just a little bit more, and I think too crazy. So those are my tips for the live interview. Prepare, smile, for the face-to-face. This particular company flew me out to their headquarters. I'm not gonna say which company it is, and I'm also not gonna say what city I was flew out to. I'm just kidding. Because I had to sign a social media waiver, and I literally cannot mention them at all, so I'm not going to do that. But I think that all these tips that I'm giving you will help you for any airline that you apply to, because a lot of these airlines have a very similar hiring process and a lot of similar activities that they do during their face-to-face. So yeah, so you don't know what airline I applied for, and you don't know what city I flew to. But 2 weeks before my face-to-face, I went to get my suit because I didn't want to run any risk of not finding it, having to order it, figuring out what I was gonna do if I couldn't find a suit. So I did it 2 weeks in advance. I went to JCPenney, got my matching blazer and skirt. I got a navy blue long sleeve collared shirt. I bought these heels. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4 items. The shoes, the suit, the shirt, and then the suit counts as suit. So 4 items. I paid $100 for everything. That was it, $100. Because they also had like that's one thing, JCPenney always has deals, and they had 20% off $40 or more, and obviously I spent more than $40, so I got a really good discount. So I went to JCPenney, I got my things. I would suggest bring three pairs of pantyhose, like one that you're gonna use and then 2 backups. I promise you won't regret. Oh, so let me tell you about my experience going to my face-to-face. So this particular company gives you the choice of selecting 2 interviews, one at 7:30 and then one at 12:30. I just thought that interviewing and having that much energy at 7:30 is just not something I was prepared for. So I chose a 12:30 time. But I did not know that I was gonna fly out of New York to this city the same day, and my flight was booked for 6 o'clock. Like, the plane was taking off at 6 o'clock. I had to leave my house at 4 because that would give me, I would get to the airport at like 4:30, and then I would have 30 minutes, and then I would be at the airport at 5. So I was up at 3:30, so early, and I decided that I wanted to do my makeup and be like in my full suit going to the airport. I landed in the city at, I think like I think it was 8:50. I feel like I remember it being 8:50 exactly. So when I got off, I found a place to eat breakfast. Like, keep in mind, like I was nervous, but during this time period, I was relaxed. When I was like at the airport, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy a nice breakfast. I'm gonna just take deep breaths. I'm just gonna act like a normal day, like nothing crazy. And I did just that. I had IHOP. I'm gonna show you a little video what I had. It was very delicious. After that, I went over a couple of more questions. Hour 30 minutes before, went to the bathroom, did a whole checkup. I switched to my new pantyhose. I retouched my lips. I redid my hair, and I was just make sure. And then I put my blazer on because up until this point I hadn't worn my blazer. I was like make sure I was looking pristine, because then after that I was gonna head to the interview. I knew it was gonna be early, but I was just gonna wait. So actually, cool thing, this girl recognized that I was wearing a very particular style, and she asked me like, hey, are you going to your face-to-face? And I was like, yeah, are you? And she obviously said yes. So we actually ended up taking a lift together, going to the interview, like talking about our processes, how long we've been waiting, like kind of our background story. And it really helped just kind of like, okay, like it's gonna be okay, everything's okay. Like just talking to her made me like feel more calm. Like, okay, so then we are on the lift. I'm gonna also show you a clip of that. We're on the lift on the way to the interview. We get there, we sign in, and as soon as you step foot on this campus, any campus, is game time. Okay, game time. It may necessarily not be like someone that's interviewing you, but it's someone with the company. So if you're about to be their fellow coworker, whether you work with them along, like beside them or not, like that, you're aspiring to be with the company that they already work for. So whoever you come in contact with, you need to be best foot forward. So I'm checking in, whatever. Then they point us into the direction that the interviews are being held. We get there, everyone's kind of sitting down, being quiet. And keep in mind that the girl that I met, she has a friend, like a close friend that already works for the airline. So I was very strategic in observing her. And I was like, I know she has inside information. I've done my own research, so I kind of know, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm still like, I was like watching what she was doing. And one thing that stuck out to me was she immediately started mingling with everybody. Like she was like, we were all talking, yada, yada, yada. And then she got up and then she like was all over the room talking to everybody. At this point, we're in the lobby just waiting. Nobody was there. Just the people interviewing, but nobody none of the interviewers. So I'm like, talking to one girl next to me who's from New York, and she's, born and raised. So it was interesting to talk to her. She was also a social worker. And that was a really cool thing to me. People are coming from so many different backgrounds, like crazy. Like she's a social worker. Let me tell you something. I did not stop smiling at all. I'm not exaggerating. As soon as I was in that room, I was smiling the whole time. And sometimes I might have been smiling at things that people are probably like, why are you smiling? I don't care. I'm smiling. Even if it's a big smile, honey, you smile. Drill that into y'all. Smile. Okay, so then, not gonna talk about what happened during the interview, because I'm not allowed. But I'm gonna give you things that I saw that people did that I feel that maybe was the reason why they weren't given a CJO. I'm gonna tell you things that I did, things that maybe I wish I didn't do. But I'm not gonna tell you at all what was happening in the things that I saw that I feel like people did that kind of hurt them a little bit was coming off overly confident. So obviously it's important to be confident. Like like that is, you have to. If you come in there kind of shy and timid and you're like, no, they don't want that. They don't want that. And let me tell you why they don't want that. You are going to be like you're not going to be, there's no managers working on a plane with you. It's you and your coworker. So the company has to not fire. The company has to find someone that they trust to be able to take command, because you are taking command of your aircraft. I mean, it's the pilot's aircraft mainly, but like you're managing it in the air with no supervision. So they have to make sure who they hire is confident, can be assertive, you know, because some customers can probably get out of line. I've seen it happen, even though I'm not like a flight attendant, just like traveling. Some customers can get out of line. They're gonna give you attitude. They're gonna be probably saying rude things to you, and you need to know how to take command and be like, sir, sit it down, okay? Sit it down, but not like that. But not like that. But you need to be able to take command. And not only that, you're gonna be on the little, hello, welcome to flight 432. My name is Natalie, you know. That was like awful, but you are gonna be speaking, you're gonna be like in front of like hundreds of people speaking, and you have to be confident. Like confidence, you have to have it. And while some people probably like, I'm confident, like, no, you're not. You know, it doesn't come off that way. At least you may be confident in your mind, but not like, it needs to come out. You're confident. But with that being said, do not be like cocky over, you know, overly confident. And I remember specifically 2 people where I was like, oh, okay, like I get it, but that's a little like too much. One of them was already a flight attendant with another airline. So he came off as, oh yeah, like I already know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, that was easy. Like I already know what I'm doing. And I don't know why this sticks out to me, this moment, but this flight attendant already already a flight attendant for the airline I interview with, asking him, oh, was that easy? And he was like, yeah, like I already know what I was doing. He's like, oh, so you had like a leg up. And he's like, yeah, I did. And I swear to you, like I still remember it because I knew that was a test. I already knew that was a test, and he failed it. Like, even if you know what you're doing, act like it was still challenging. Like, oh, you know what? Yeah, like I already knew, but like it was really, you know, it was still really challenging. Like I learned a lot of new things from doing this. So like, fake it. Like, even if you know, fake it. Like, don't. This man really was like, oh yeah, like I already know what I'm doing. And like throughout the whole interview, it was just kind of like, he was calm. He was, you know, he was like the cool guy, like calm, like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get it. He didn't get it, okay? He didn't get it. So, and I actually wasn't surprised, because I was like, yeah, you gotta play your cards right. You didn't play them right. The second person that stuck out to me, and she was actually, I really, really thought she was gonna get offered this job, because she was like, she looked the part, she was beautiful, she was like tall, she had the red lip going, and it looked beautiful on her. Her suit was perfectly fit. When she spoke with confidence, eloquently. She was from Spelman, like really amazing girl. But, and then this is another like thing that I remember, and I was like, and now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's probably why you didn't get the job. So you have one side of the spectrum where the person already had the job and is too confident. Then you have this other person where she's never been a flight attendant, but she was like determined to get this CJO, but like very aggressively. So when she answered her questions, it came off like, yeah, I'm the best, so you need to hire me because I went to the best school and I am the best candidate for this specific, like, while those things are true, you have to sound humble about it. Like, yeah, like that Spelman is a really good HBCU. A lot of people know it. I mean, if you don't know it, then, well, sorry. But like, even if you come from Harvard, okay, like we get it. You went to a good school, but everyone's on the same playing field here. Just because, I mean, you went to Harvard, you went to community college, but y'all are both in the same room. So, you know, like, let's be humble about it. So, you know, the way she answered a certain question, I was just like, okay, like I know you're trying to be confident, but that's coming off like a little arrogant. So when you answer your questions, be humble. Like, yeah, I went to a really good university that prepared me, you know, to have the skills and ability to be able to come into this company and do my absolute very best. You know, like I'm not like versus, oh yeah, I went to the best university and I'm going to be the best. Like, calm down. Like, you know, it's a little too much. So be humble, be graceful, calm, confident. Smile. I think, yeah, you're nervous and they know you're nervous. They told us quite a few times, like, we know you're nervous, but don't let the nerves get the best of you. I was doing deep breaths. I think if people saw me, I don't know, but I've learned how to handle my anxiety by doing deep breaths. Like, so simple, right? But even like just, I was sitting in an interview and I was just like relax. It's okay. When you're relaxed, you could shine, your personality comes out, you're more confident, you're more just like clear-headed. I actually learned this from Grey's Anatomy. I think Dr. Shepard, the love of my life, I think he said it, he's like, breathe. When you don't breathe, you're not thinking. And that stuck with me. So every time where I'm like in difficult situations, I breathe. I'm like, think, slow down, process your thoughts. It's okay. I was nervous as hell, but I kept breathing. And no matter what, I just try to remain calm, just the whole thing. I would definitely have your hair tied up like the flight attendant. So like this look right here. Like something like that. Process happens. I'm not gonna tell you, I can't tell you a lot, but it's okay. I'm just here to give you more tips. But at the end, you know, gave people their CJOs. I was luckily and fortunate to be one of them. I literally felt my heart in my ears. Like I felt, it was like, oh my God, the weirdest moment ever. Like my heartbeat was in my ears. Like I literally could feel it like boom, boom. Like that's how nervous I was before they told me. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like under my shins, they were sweating. My hands were sweating. It was bad. But I got off for CJO. I had to do some other stuff before I left, and then went back to the airport. And honey, let me tell you, I think by that time I got to the airport at like 7:38 or 8. I ate dinner, me a steak and rice and beans and plantains, because I was like, I had eaten in the morning and did not eat until that moment. So I was like, I just got my CJO. I was like, oh, I'm celebrating by getting me a steak. So I'm gonna show you a clip of what I got. So delicious. And then I was just sitting in the airport, you know, waiting for our flight to leave. It didn't leave until 8. Actually it did leave at 8 or 9. I can't remember. So waiting, got on the plane, 2 hours back to New York. By the time I got to my car, it was 12 o'clock. Keep in mind, I was awake at 3:30 in the mornings. I was freaking tired, honey. Got in my car, drove home, and then I'll put a little clip of when I was gonna, you know, like I made a little video, like ending the video, and I looked rough. And my eyes were chinky because like you could tell I was tired. I was so tired, but it was all worth it. Let me tell you this, what's for you is for you, for real. Now, did I prepare? Yes. Was I nervous? Yes. But I knew that I was gonna get it, even when I was doubting, just a little bit, even till the very end. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't get this damn job? But in my mind, I remembered the last moments before they told me. I was like, I have to get it. Like, this is a part of my plan. Like, this is a part of my journey. Like, I already know I have this job. I think that if this is what you're supposed to do, you're gonna do it. But like I said, you got this. You're gonna do your CJO, honey. And I'm gonna make more videos once I start training and once all that happens. So I'll definitely keep you updated on my journey, my process, because I have a long journey ahead of me before I'm even on the line. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's kind of long, but I wanted to make sure it was very informative because I've watched a million videos on YouTube about this and they were very helpful, but so I wanted to come on and share my own experience. But I wish you the best of luck in your journey, in your process, and I will see you in the next video.